Welcome to Valley Boys TCG, and here we go with TYRANNOMON versus DIARBBITMON. We got green on green, and we see an Agumon get evoed here in the Raising on the left for Tyranno, and then we just drop a Pomumon. I didn't initially know what he was playing at first, and then I realized when I looked at the sleeves, oh, this is definitely an Angoramon deck. Great sleeves, great game here. Very interesting matchup because we're kind of doing the same thing. We're trying to suspend and pierce over things to control the board. And so he drops the green memory boost after evolving into an Angoramon and Raising. And then we're just going to see him go into his level 4 there. And we move up. We go ahead and go into TYRANNOMON here. That'll let us play out the Taiga and choke them to 1. Now, technically, he can just pop his boost and still go off on me here, so maybe this was a little bit of a dangerous play, but I wanted to be able to get the Taiga back on field here. So here we see him go into the Lamortmon, which will suspend the Digimon there, and now he'll be able to gain a memory for suspending thanks to the Simbar and Goramon underneath, and then he's just going to go ahead and pierce over it. It dies in security, so hitting the Rusty Ace, so that's not too bad. I mean, yeah, he got some stuff on. And here, as you notice, the shop finally turned on the regular shop lights, which was so good. And so he drops a search and sees all his DIARBBITMONs. Pretty crazy. Good and bad, I guess. We know he has it in hand, but we also know that he's gotten rid of all of them. And so we just go ahead and go into the TYRANNOMON here for reduced cost to get a card draw in. We don't have much else, so we just drop another Taiga on board to reduce our next Evo next turn. He's got nothing, so we kind of have something here to try to build up and do something with. This TYRANNOMON that we have here, if we Evo, even if it passes turn, he has the end of turn effect where I get to attack anyway. So that's what I really like about the BT14 Tyranno, is it keeps the aggro going. So he's building in the back, just trying to figure out what to do. Pops the boost so that he can get into his Lamort there. And passes to 1? Or no, he's going to pass us all the way to 4. That's right, that did not pass turn. Maybe he shouldn't have popped the boost, but I guess he wanted to get the Mimi on board for next turn. So here we go. We're at 4, and then this TYRANNOMON has started turn. He reduces the Evo cost to Tyrannos for the rest of the turn, which means potentially 2 reductions here. So we get into Master Tyranno for a cost of 1 after tapping both Taigas, only a 1 cost Evo thanks to the Tyranno inherited. And then we go into the BT11 Rusty, which has another 3 reduction, making it only a 2 cost thanks to reducing the cost for each green tamer or green or black tamer we have, and then the reduction for the Tyranno. And then we just go into Tyranno there, and then in Raising the BT14, and then the inherited effect of this Rusty, I'll be able to swing in for 2 checks. So now we're putting some pressure on him, but this is where it can get very tricky because DIARBBIT is pretty good. He's going to start the turn with 3, and he got the Ruli, so he's going to tap the Mimi first to get that Raising going again. And having this suspended Rusty, I feel a little exposed. Yes, he's a 13k, but green doesn't have issues of finding ways to boost their DP. So here he goes into DIARBBIT. No unsuspended Digimon, so he gains a memory. And he's got DP boosts. So he's going into security. Gets us another Taiga, which is definitely going to come in handy for our next Tyranno and Raising if we can get there. The 3 Taigas on board plus that BT14 Tyranno means our level 5 should be free, and if we have another one of these Rusties, hey, it could be a 1 cost. We could go up to a level 6 for 1 with the board state we have going on here, potentially. So he drops the Searcher Angora, and then Ruli will let him unsuspend. He'll be able to swing again, end of turn, get all his stuff off, get rid of card insecurity, and so now he's cleared our board, got us in a tricky situation. So we promote up the TYRANNOMON, and we hopefully have the stack in hand so that we can go up and do some things here. We only have 2 memory, but with all the Taigas, we can go ahead and Evo here for free and suspend everything and keep the DIARBBIT suspended, locking it down with this Metal Tyrannomon from BT11. We do have piercing, so we can check over the Angoramon, but we also have the BT14 Tyranno, so we can go up the stack here. The inherited plus all the tamers on board makes this a 1-cost Evo, so we went all the way from a 4 to a 6 for only 1 memory, thanks to our board state. We are 13k, and this stack is able to pierce over something, trash a security, and when it deletes something, it also restands. So we can clear security and clear board here, as long as we play our cards right. So we're going to swing in over the DR bit, even though it's frozen. We should still be 13k. We'll trash the security for that deletion. We'll unsuspend for clearing, and then the piercing goes through. Nothing to worry about there in piercing, or nothing to worry about there in security. And then to be smart about this, we go ahead and play our Agumon to get a search. No tamers in sight, but we still have BT14 end of turn effect. We can still attack and pierce. So this way we at least get our Digimon on board. Really, we probably should have pierced first and then play the Digimon, just so that way in case we hit something that will remove the little guy. But we're in a good spot. He's got a little bit of memory to go, starting with his 3 thanks to his memory tamer. He's going to try to get up the ladder again to do something, but we definitely gave him an issue by playing a second Digimon here, because if he had a way of removing our Rusty, it would have been hard for us to rebuild in time. But I think this should lock it out here. Not saying that he can't hurt our board state here, because the DIARBBIT is actually a really good card here. Just has so much potential. And there we see he goes in with the HBD to go into the promo DIARBBIT. That'll be able to suspend something. And then this is where we're gonna have a problem. He goes into the Quartzmon. So Quartz for 6, we tap everything down. And I think he gains, putting us back to 1 memory. Yeah, so now we're going to be in a little bit of a pickle here, because everything's locked down, and he'll be able to Quartz return next turn. So we go into a Palmon raising, and so we decide to Quartzmon him right back to prevent him from pushing up and basically locking us down by swinging with Angora, and Quartz swings for game because it'll trash one. So we Quartz lock here to hopefully lock us in the game, because he'll only have 1 swing here to check 1 security. I'll be able to promote out the Palmon next turn and swing for game unless he brings a blocker out. Now there is a blocker in this deck, or the Angoramon, or Simbar Angoramon, there is a blocker, I believe. So he decides to warp instead for 3. I'm guessing he didn't have the blocker. Oh, there's the blocker there. So that'll be an issue. We go ahead and realize we can't do anything about the blocker right now. So our best course of action, we Evo into a Tyrannomon here, just so that we can Evo into another, we Evo into another BT11 Metal Tyrannomon to suspend his board further, to prevent him from blocking and swinging anymore. So now we should have it fully locked down. Yeah, the double Quartz is pretty crazy, because it's just waiting till somebody can swing. So unless he can get another blocker on board here, if he has another blocker to drop down, he's going to basically take another turn off. And I think he's just looking at what his options are. I don't think he has anything that's going to be able to do anything yet. A lot of cards in hand, but nothing to prevent this from going. Yeah, double Quartz, quartzing each other just becomes a staring match. We're basically playing Metapod versus Kakuno here, just staring at each other, and he just drops another Mimi, has a second Mimi on board, and we just promote Palmon, swing for game. So on to game 2, and we are going first. We get a Palmon in raising, and we drop the Piercing Taiga to start us off. I'm starting to like this Taiga a little more. I know the other one gives DP boost, but the Piercing is better, and this Taiga can also reduce the cost of my level 4s, whereas the BT11 Taiga only reduces level 5 and up. So it's kind of hard. I feel like a 50-50 split on them is kind of fair for the deck. because you really want that piercing on board early. And then we see he goes all the way to a level 5 already. So we're kind of in a tricky spot. Like, what do we do here? Because we know once he gets the the DIARBBIT on board, he's just going to be swinging over everything. So we just drop a Pomu. Pomu really doesn't do much in this matchup for us, or the matchup in general. So he's more for a meta call for other decks. Didn't really come up this night. And here we see he goes into DIARBBIT, and then he gets to suspend and gain a memory from that because I have no unsuspended on board, and then he's able to swing end of turn, which will go ahead and go over Pomu and then get rid of security. So now we're in a tricky situation. What do we do here? And we just drop a Terror Cluster. We don't even want to mess with it. We go Terror Cluster, get it off the board, and force him to reset. I think we're missing pieces. We can't really climb up the ladder here in raising, so we're just kind of waiting so we can really make a move. But that DIARBBIT is really hard to get around once he gets it on board, so that's why we had to remove it as early as possible. I'm hoping he's missing pieces as much as I am, so he's having to hit the search, and looks like he's got his options. I guess that's the level 5 he's missing. He found it. He found his piece, so not good for us right now. And he goes into the level 5 to pass turn, put us at 2. I think I'm completely locked out with a level 4. Yeah, I have no level 4. I remember this match was very, very rough. I have no level 4, and I just pass turn, and he's completely confused here. And my train of thought here was, look, if I hard play anything on board, you can go into DIARBBIT, you'll suspend it, you'll delete it, I can't do anything about it. The best course of action here is not to give him anything to remove because my hand resources are very limited. So I'm trying to hold on to him as long as I can so I can do something with him. Throwing something on board in this matchup does not benefit me. And it's very important to know that, realize that anything I put on board, he's probably just going to get rid of it with DIARBBIT. DIARBBIT can be very controlling, so all he does is swing in, he gains his memory for that. And his extra end of turn attack won't go in because it only attacks a Digimon, it doesn't attack player. But this is where I have the problem, is he has a DIARBBIT on board, and he's going to put the Ruli out there, which will let him unsuspend if I'm not mistaken. But drops an Angora to search. I'm kind of in a bad spot here. I don't have my pieces. If I promote, he can suspend. DIARBBITMON attacks, suspends something, and then end of a turn, he'll just attack over it. So if I promote, Palmon's gone. If I hard play anything, again, DIARBBIT's going to do the same thing. So that's the really tricky situation here. On what can you do? I could try to hard play the 6 and ace into level 7, but hard play the 5 and ace into the level 6, but then he'll still be able to attack over me. And you can see my hand there. I have all top end. I think that's four level 6s, 1 level 5, and I just passed turn again. And yeah, I think I had to do this for a while. Yeah, that's level 7. I had a quartz, two rusties, 1 of each. I had an imperial ace that was teched in here because I was missing my 4th rusty ace, so I put in the imperial ace, which is very similar. Let's suspend something. And so he can just swing freely. I'm hoping that there's... Well, no, I already played the Terror Cluster, which is probably my downfall. I played it too early, and now I have no way of getting around it. He gets the boost, and he basically has control of this game because, again, I cannot play anything. I cannot hard play something. I'm just done for. Because I don't see a level 4, I am bricked for this game, and that brick means I cannot play, I cannot do anything. And I just concede the match there, and I'm explaining to him, look, I can drop something, you're just going to suspend and go over it. So there's absolutely nothing I can do without a single level 4. And that was rough. That was very rough to see no level 4s in game 2. So yeah, Brick City was real. And so we go second this time to hopefully draw more, and we just drop a Palmon, or Evo Palmon, drop a Palmon. He already has his level 4. He just goes ahead and promotes, swings, and survives the check. I'm hoping we have enough to Evo up here. I see a level 5 in hand there. I think we have a level 4. Having 2 Palmons can actually come in handy here. Now I'm putting both effects on that same Digimon, so we're able to go ahead I don't think we can do anything with this effect here. Oh yeah, this is a big misplay. So I hard play the Rusty thinking it was like the Metal Tyranno where it would on play suspend something, which would give me +4 memory from the Palmons. But unfortunately, Rust Tyrannomon Ace is not on play. His effect is only when digivolving to suspend everything. Now the BT11 Metal Tyrannomon actually works on play to suspend for every tamer you have, but the Rusty does not do that. So technically here he probably should have had the whole 5 memory to start off with, so that's a bit of a misplay. Apologies on my end, that was definitely a mistake, but had that been Rusty's ability, that would have been so good. Good combo with the Palmon. The Palmons are still really good with this deck. And so he swings in, checks, survives again. I guess that's where all my level 4s are. I'm probably making that same comment. I'm missing level 4s. That was 2 in security right there. We Evo for 1 in raising, and we still don't have a level 4, unfortunately. And we're not able to swing over him because of that, really letting him unsuspend. So we just drop a Taiga to put him back to 1 again, trying to choke him out till we can do something. I'm not sure why I didn't swing with the Rusty. Maybe I didn't want to risk it. He swings, and that's 3 level 4s in a row in security. So that's why I can't find one, apparently. Still have not seen a level 4. So we promote out, and we decide to... I guess we do the play. Yep, there it is. This is the play what we should have done with the Rusty, which is drop the Metal Tyrannomon, which will suspend and gain us back the memory with Palmons. Hope having him locked there at 2 memory. So here we're actually looking pretty decent. We have a wide board state, but here he's able to warp, and now he's going to be able to start doing damage, as we're going to see here. So DIARBBIT there will let him suspend. He decides to... He chooses Palmon because the Palmons have been pretty annoying to him. Swings over the Palmon, and then when attacking, he'll be able to suspend something. He checks a Crimson Blaze. Oh no, he trashes security, so there's no check there actually. And then our turn. So now we can try to start building. We put the effect of Palmon on the DIARBBIT there. I see we do have the level 4 in hand finally. Now it just depends on what effect we want to do. We could climb more if we use... The smart play would probably be over the Palmon because it'll help further reduce our Evos up. We would be able to... Let's see where we're at. 4 memory. We could climb all the way up to Rusty. Oh no, we just go into Rusty over that. Interesting. Okay. So we do have the effect on him if he suspends. I guess that makes sense. So we swing over the other suspended Simbar, which will trash from security. No piercing. But we trash again thanks to the other Rusty effect. So actually we get 2 trashes off of that, because the Ace Rusty just says when something is deleted. So 2 trashes, unsuspend, and then we'll be able to swing again here. So we swing with Kokua. And then this is where he's just reading my card effects to know what he wants to block with that DIARBBITMON, or what he'll be able to block, what he's got to worry about. So he blocks there. We bait out the block so that we can swing over his DIARBBIT. Oh no, we swing at security. Okay. And then I think we're going to attempt to lock him here. So we go into Tyranno, and if we have another Metal Tyranno, we can lock and attack. So here we go. Yeah, we lock him down. And if we wanted to, we could end up attack. I guess not. But now he's locked. He can't unsuspend. And so we're in a good position here till we can go for game next turn. Fortunately, we didn't have a rookie in raising. That feels like a waste, not having a rookie in raising. I guess we just didn't have one in hand. But we're looking pretty good to go for game next turn. We're hoping everything works our way. We have him. He's got 3 memory to build. That DIARBBIT's stuck suspended. And he goes into Quartzmon, which is unfortunate because that'll gain him memory back, keeping his turn. be able to draw for his inherited effects. And so now we're in a tough situation because we need to find a way to get rid of that Quartzmon. And honestly, we're kind of locked here. Unless I can find another BT11 to drop to lock that Quartzmon, he's going to be able to swing next turn, trashing my last card of security and swing for game. So we Digivolve and Raising to try to find something, and there's nothing. We have nothing. I have 4 Mons suspended on board. He has a Tamer and Quartz itself, and he can suspend his other Tamer next turn to ensure that there's 5 suspended. So there's no self-delete. There's no way I can reduce the number of Mons I have on board. I just drop a Mimi, I think, just to have for next turn, but he can suspend it anyway. And this will pretty much be the game. He unsuspends Ruli. That shouldn't have unsuspended because Quartzmon doesn't let anything unsuspend. And then he taps his other Mimi. But the misplay doesn't matter. It's not much of a misplay because he's just going to swing Quartz, use it to suspend his own Ruli, and that's going to be it for game. He'll be able to trash the top of security, and then it's a lethal swing for game. I have nothing. I think I do the blast timing just for the sake of suspending something, but really that just feeds his Quartzmon. So unfortunate we didn't have a way to remove Quartz, or if we had the Quartz of our own, we could lock him back, but that's how it goes. A very close one, really fun. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Hope you join us next time.